So let me introduce you to the fabulous MC that we have for today. Ta-da! Leslie Sbrocco, the very own Leslie Sbrocco, who's not just a friend, a fun person to hang out with, a local Sonoma County, just lives across. Those of you that are from the Bay Area, her face looks familiar. She's on Check Please on PBS, one of my favorite things. And she has a new series coming up, Taste This.
That's right.
She's also an award-winning author. She's a speaker, she's a wine consultant, she's a mom, she's fun, she does it all. And she's cute.
Thank you, Ava. Thank you. To my good friend, Ava Bertrand and Gloria Ferrer. All right. Everybody, are you ready? All right, we're also on Facebook Live, so I want everybody to turn to the camera and say, aren't we making y'all jealous by drinking? Hi, Facebook Live. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I hope you have a glass of Gloria in your hand at home and you're watching us here in sunny, gorgeous Sonoma. They have no idea, right? They don't know it's raining. It's gorgeous today. I'm sorry, can't be here. All right, everybody. We are going to have a fantastic next few minutes as we get prepped over here for our chefs, our home chefs to be cooking, with a professional chef. Everybody, please welcome Jen Luttrell. Big round of applause right here. And Jen will be cooking for us and talking a little bit. She's the executive chef for Point Reyes Farmstead Cheese Company, which is a local treasure. I don't know if you've ever... How many of you have had the cheese? Raise your hand. Woo! How many? By the end of the day, everyone's going to be raising their hand on this one. It's also an amazing spot to visit, and Jen has been overseeing the Fork, the company's on-property culinary and educational center, which is absolutely worth going out a trip to the coast for the day. Fantastic. And we also have one of the sisters of Point Reyes, Jill Giacomini Bash. Round of applause for Jill. Okay, and I'm going to hand it off to you guys to talk a little bit about Point Reyes and about what you're cooking today, Jen. You ladies have empty glasses, and that makes me incredibly nervous. Can we get a few more bubbles in here for these lovely ladies? Okay, take it away.
Refilling the champagne, the bubbly right before we start, before I start working with the knife. But while I get started doing some really fancy chopping here, not really, Jill's going to talk to you a little bit about the farm, and she can do that well because she was born and raised there. So.
Yeah, I know. Are we on? Okay. Can you hear me now? Is that good? Okay. Thank you. Yes, I have a good knowledge point about Point Reyes, as I was born and raised there, and I have to just point out one of my co-owners. My sister Diana, over there in the corner, saying hi to everybody. And we have a great representation of folks from the company today that are cheering all three finalists on for the competition. So our folks, Diana and my parents, Bob and Dean Giacomini, bought the dairy in 1959. And if any of you have not been to Point Reyes before, you have to come out and visit us. We sit right alongside Tomales Bay on Highway 1, about 3 miles north of Point Reyes and about 3 miles south of Marshall. So Tomales Bay, some of you might know, is home to the wonderful California oyster industry. It's also the home to many wonderful artisan cheese purveyors. We got started making cheese on our family-owned dairy back in 2000, and for 9 years, all that we did was perfect Point Reyes Original Blue. As a matter of fact, a lot of people know us as Point Reyes Blue. We're actually Point Reyes Farmstead because we do make more than blue cheese. And I encourage you to go to the room behind the screen on the other side of that wall. There's a selection of all of our cheeses. We make a fabulous fresh mozzarella. We make a wonderful farmer's cheese called Toma, which is an awesome melting cheese, satisfies all palates. It's got a lot of butter notes and a little bit of a grassy tang finish. We also have Bay Blue. our more Stilton-like cheese. It's a little bit sweeter. It's a little bit more of a gateway blue for those of you that think that you're not a fan of blue cheese. And then we have our flagship original blue, which is the cheese that we built the company on, and it's the cheese that we chose to use in the recipe pairing with Sonoma Brut. So Jen, go ahead.
All right, so I chopped up the onion and the apple. They would go into the pot on the great burner that would cook them until they were translucent. Then we would add in the brown sugar and the vinegar. And I'm going to just go ahead and open up the original blue, but I want to tell you before I do, don't freak out when I start scraping off the exterior surface of it, thinking I'm wasting cheese, because anytime you get a new wedge of cheese that's been wrapped in plastic or foil, you want to just give it a nice little superficial scrape, because that cheese that's been in contact with the wrapping material can sometimes sweat or take on the flavor of a plastic, say. So you want to just give it a nice little scrape anytime you have a new piece of cheese.
Okay, so what makes our cheese unique? Anybody want to answer that question? It tastes great, yes, but it's because we control the source, the raw ingredient. We produce all of the milk that goes into the production of our farmstead cheeses right there on the property, right where the cheese is made. My folks have been dairying there, like I said, since 1959, and we have a small herd of about 400 milking Holsteins that we raise from birth right on the property. And for us, it's really not even just that we start with the milk or we start with the animals. We start with that pasture grass. We are very focused on raising the healthiest animals possible in the most humane manner possible, in the most natural way possible, so that we can ensure that the quality of milk we produce is the best in the region, best of class, and best for our line of cheese. And what we like to focus on in the creamery, if we do our job right, is that we're paying respect to the quality of the milk with every production. We're making sure that all of our cheeses, first and foremost, taste like our milk and taste like they can only be made on our property in Point Reyes.
Woohoo! Come visit. So I'm just going to assemble one of the crostinis for you at this point, just so you can see what the finished product looks like, because it's all cooked down beautifully on my imaginary stove, right? Are you with me? So I'm just going to put out some of the crostini, just nicely toasted bread slices, and then I'm going to top it with a little bit of the apple onion chutney, and then I'm going to crumble a little of our original blue on top, and that's that. Really, and like I said, a very easy recipe. Once you get it all in the pot, it takes about 20 minutes to cook down, so you can just cook it on low, kind of forget about it while you're working on other things for your dinner party. And this will be passed around tonight, so I hope you'll all try it. Make sure you have a drink of your Sonoma Brut in your hand. So I'm going to just plate it real quick.
Great. So pairing our cheeses, I just want to end with one final note. Sparkling wine is the new beer, the new white wine, I'm not sure. But with cheese, it is absolutely the best pairing. The bubbles, the carbonation in the beverage really helps to kind of cut through the fat. It helps to open up your palate and your senses so that you want to take another bite. And it's amazing all of the different floral components that sparkling wines are known for, really in and of themselves are perfect pairings for the cheese. And then when you add additional flavoring components like the onions and the apples here, you really end up with the perfect combination. It's really a marriage made in heaven.
All right, guys. How are you doing out there, everybody? Good? Okay, I'm going to walk around here because I got some troublemakers over here. I'm going to come stir up the crowd a little bit. We're going to walk around and pass a little bit more bubbles for folks to enjoy, because you're going to get some food coming out as I get ready to interview and introduce the contestants. But as we wrap up here with Jen and Jill, any questions about cheese and pairing with sparkling wine? Any questions about cheese in general? I have one. What is the best way to store open cheese?
Really great question. It's a question that a lot of people who come to the farm have. Naturally, when you're buying a good cheese, you want to know how to keep it fresh the longest. So most cheeses, you do want to take them out of the wrapping and give them a good clean. And then a good way to store them in a way that most people can access at home is to wrap them in parchment paper, or blue cheese really loves foil because it cuts off that oxygen. And if you continue to allow oxygen to reach a blue cheese, it's going to continue to blue. So you want to slow that down once you've opened it. And so you would wrap it in parchment or foil and then put it in a larger container, like a Tupperware, thank you. Like it's a something. A Tupperware or a glass storage container that is big enough to give a little bit of airflow to the cheese, but not so much that it will dry it out. One product that we're really fond of at the farm is a product made by a company called Capabunga, and it's called a cheese vault. And we actually have one at the farm and featured in our gift sets this holiday season with our logo on it. But it's a silicone little box, and you can change the size of the compartments inside. And you can put your cheese in there unwrapped, and it will still be good a month later easily. So it's really amazing. If you buy a lot of cheese, it's a great item to buy. But we also say, buy as much cheese as you're going to eat. It's kind of like buying fish. You don't want to just leave it sitting around. So go to your local cheese shop, have them cut a piece that is the size for your needs, and enjoy it quickly.
Fantastic. Anybody else out here have any questions about cheese, about sparkling wine, about check please, about anything? Yes. Hang on. Let me come ask. How many of you want to be on check please? I've already answered a few folks over there. I've got a few on for our next season.
There are 2 blue cheeses on the table over here. The older aged one, is there a name for it?
I don't know the answer to that, but does anybody?
Okay. Well, actually, the cheese that you are referring to as the older cheese is Bay Blue, and it's actually younger. It's about half the age of original blue. And that is a perfect example of, through craftsmanship and the skill of the cheesemaker, you can take a cheese that make it appear to be older, to be extra aged, but through the practices in the creamery, it actually is not. Bay Blue is our version of a British Stilton. It's got a fudgy, dense texture. It's a little bit more mild in blue mold pungency, and it's got a sweet, salted caramel finish. That's the one that I was referring to as a gateway blue. It's a great cheese for people that think that they don't like strong, stinky cheeses. Original Blue, our flagship, the cheese that Jen's cooking with right now, is more made in the classic French style. And it's got a real creamy texture. You can spread it like butter. It's got some sweet milk notes, and it's got a nice peppery punch in the finish.
And when you're talking about age, what are you talking about?
Okay, Bay Blue is aged about 2 to 2.5 months, and Original Blue 4 to 5 months.
Okay, there you go. Anybody else? Questions about cheese, about pairing cheese and sparkling wine, about wine in general, about do you have an empty glass? Raise your hand if you need some wine filled in it, huh? Where's my glass? I don't know where my glass is. Yes, Joel.
Tell us, Leslie, what do you prefer, what kind of cheese do you prefer to serve with sparkling wine? And do you have several sparkling wines that you pair with different cheeses?
Beautiful question about pairing sparkling wine and cheese. I personally, as you do, love pairing sparkling wine I tend to pair it with fresh cheeses in terms of something like the Sonoma Brut. I think that it has the complexity to go with the blue, the original blue as well. You don't want the cheese to overpower the wine. You want the wine to dance with it and not wrestle with it. And so for me, when you have a sparkling wine, a great sparkling wine, it cleanses your palate, as you said. You want the bubbles to act as a refresher and to balance the fattiness of the cheese. And so a complex sparkling wine does beautifully. I love rosé, to be honest with you, with many cheeses. So for me, rosé would probably be my go-to choice for a lot of cheeses. The Gloria Ferrer rosé is absolutely beautiful. So that would be my choice. And what about you, Joel? Any particular favorites? Anything with bubbles. That's right. I promise I'll show you the tattoo of rosé sparkling wine on my leg at the end of the night. I'm serious, I do have one. All right, are you guys ready to meet our contestants? Woo! Okay. Now, for those of you on Facebook Live especially who just tuned in, we had 1,800 submissions. 1,800, and last year, Ava, the first year, we had 400, right? So amazing, amazing participation this year. Traveled all around the country, and in 3 cities they had semifinals. Now, and it included, there were 44 states that entered, people from 44 states. So these represent the best of the best. Round of applause. Yes, get your drinking hands working. All right, and I am going to kick off first with Diane. All right, Diane, come up here. Talk to me. I'm going to talk to you just a little bit, and then we're going to get you back at your station cooking. Okay. This is Diane Williams. She's from the San Fernando Valley, but you've resided in Northern California.
No, I live in Auburn.
Oh, she lives in Auburn? Okay.
I know.
That's not right. She lives in Auburn.
Yeah.
I'm just going to toss this out. All right. Diane, tell us about yourself and tell us about your dish.
Oh. My dish? Oh.
Your dish.
I'd like to say that I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for Marcia in the tasting room.
Aww.
She welcomed my son, a wild little 3-year-old, and we've been coming ever since, and he's in college, and 16 years we've been coming to this winery, and then Sam has picked up the slack.
All right, so Diane, you were a fan of Gloria. Yes, you can applause that. Fan of Gloria for a long time. This is your first cooking competition. Yes, and you're thrilled to be chosen as a finalist, I know. And you're making the Triple B. And these are 3 of my favorite things in the world: beef, blue cheese, and bacon. Let me just say it again, everybody. Beef, blue cheese, and bacon. All right, tell us how you came up with this magical combination.
Everyone said, speak up. Actually, this is inspiration from Gott's Roadside. They have a Western burger with blue cheese and bacon.
Okay.
And I thought, can I put that in a wonton?
There you go.
It just happened, and my husband said yes.
All right, God's Roadside. Okay, next one up. Big round of applause for Diane. She's going to knock it out of the park. All right. Jerry Edwards. Where is Jerry? Right here. Right here. Representing our men of the group here. Jerry, you're making some lobster and brie dogs, and I'm going to let you talk about that in a second. You're from Baltimore, Maryland.
I am.
Correct? All right. You are, I love this. You're a direct descendant of Mona Lisa.
No, I'm not. No, that was somebody who we did a wine supper for, but not me, no. I don't know the woman.
Like I said, I'm throwing this out. All right. You own your own catering company.
Yes.
And your garden includes vegetables, eggplants, 24 types of tomatoes. You raise your own cattle and a few pigs, right? And you're known as, you're a wine club member as well for the glorious,
Yes, I am.
Glorious Bites, Glorious Club. All right, tell us about lobster and brie dogs.
Well, it's an interesting little takeoff of the hot dog. You know, it's but we changed it to match with the wine specifically, and the Sonoma Brut is one of my favorites. We sell it a lot for weddings. And it's got the really great crisp green apple flavor to it, so we have a rich sauce, which is brie and green apples in there, so you get the tart and you get the cream. And the acidity in that wine really cuts through that. And then underneath is a beautiful lobster dog. It's seasoned with, it's got lobster, shrimp, scallops. You'll see me puree it here into a force meat, into a casing, and then we're just going to cook it very quickly for you, so I think you'll love it.
All right, and you're going to eat it up. Now, by the way, before I introduce Share a Little, you're all going to be getting this. As soon as they start cooking, we're going to make sure you guys get trays of this are going to be passed so you can fill up and you can taste already. Share a Little. That's your real name. I love that. Share a little, share a lot. Okay.
No, Share a Little Glorious Bite.
Share a Little, you are a native of Austin, Texas, my dear, aren't you? Okay. Woo! All right. Now you've been entering Longhorns, huh?
Big Longhorn fan.
Longhorns. All right. We got some fans over there. Woohoo! All right, Cher's going to tell us about her dish, but you have been entering cooking competitions since 2009, and this you're cooking today in honor of your husband, right?
That's right. My husband passed away from brain cancer about 3 months ago, and he was my largest supporter, and he encouraged me to start entering recipe contests when we first started dating. So the first meal I made him, he's like, whoop, I'm sold. he put up his tongs, and I cooked from then on, and it's something that is very important to me because I want to carry on his memory because he was my sous chef. And when we weren't cooking together, we were golfing or gardening. So part of my dish actually has serrano and jalapeno peppers from his. And now my garden, which I haven't killed it yet. Yay!
And tell us the name of your dish.
Oh my God, really? I can't remember.
It is miso glazed cod wonton.
Miso maple glazed cod. And it's on a wontacho with crispy bok choy. Woo! Layers of flavor, you guys. The wontons are actually stuffed with cream cheese, some of those peppers from our garden, and then the sauce is all homemade, of course. And the crispy bok choy is kind of like a kale chip. It's amazing.
All right. Big round of applause for all three of these guys. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, as they get started, I'm going to tell you what we are judging on, what those guys have a very terrible job over there of doing. They're all sipping. I just see you drinking over there. What's going on? All right. Gloria Ferrer, Gloria Spites, hashtag Gloria Spites. All right. They are judging on 4 things. Originality. Is the appetizer one of a kind? How creative is it? Taste, of course. Does it taste good? Gotta taste good. Appearance. Does the dish look appealing? How is it plated? What are the garnishes? And then finally, how does it pair with the Sonoma Brute? Very important, right? Woo! All right, how does it pair with the Sonoma Brute? Which, by the way, everything pairs with the Sonoma Brute. Okay, a bathtub, bubble bath pairs with the Sonoma Brute. So that's what we are going to be judging. The judges will be judging on that dish. And do we want to start the clock now? All right, 1, 2, 3, everybody give them the 1, 2, 3, and Diane, get in here. We don't want you losing. And we are off. Start that clock. Woo! Okay. By Facebook. We'll be back in about 20 minutes. Welcome back to Facebook Live. I hope you guys enjoyed your time off. We've been enjoying a little bit more bubbles here, a lot of Gloria Ferrer, and watching the contestants just sweat a little bit as they've been running against the clock to get everything done. So I am giving them the less than 5-minute mark now, 4 minutes and 38 seconds, guys. Let's give them a cheer, come on. They've got 4 minutes left to go. They're plating for the judges. So what we'd like to ask, if you guys don't mind in this kind of area, just make sure when they're coming out to plate that we've got to have a little room to get Facebook Live to watch it. And so just scooch back a little bit. But 4 minutes now, you guys. No pressure, no pressure. You're going to get to enjoy a glass here very shortly. All right, you guys, let's give them a big, big round of applause to finish off, you guys. Woo! 4 minutes. And remember to get out there and vote, you guys. Take your cork and go put it in a bucket. I've heard lots of people say, take your cork and put it somewhere. So this is a really, this is for you guys to count. Take your cork and go vote for your fan favorite. That's whatever, they get a prize too. They get a prize too. All right, guys, I'm going to start to get the audience's attention. Just get the audience's attention here, because we're going to give these contestants a countdown, and I want you all to help me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and woo! All right. Now we're going to have our fabulous contestants and chefs present their dishes to the judges. The judges are ready to eat. They've been drinking for a while, so they're ready to eat, to pair. Woohoo! Okay, guys. Now, you guys can come on out. We're going to have them all present at one time, right? Come on over. If we can clear out this area just a little bit. Okay. Shh. I'm going to grab everybody, turn to your neighbor, and tell them, shh. We're just going to hear very briefly our contestants talk to the judges, present their dishes, and tell them what they made, all right? Again, the judges will be evaluating the dishes on originality, taste, appearance, and pairing with Sonoma Brut, of which Sarah Desserin just knocked over her glass. And so she is officially cut off. No. Sarah will get you another glass. Okay. All righty, guys. Okay, who wants to go first?
Thank you.
All right, Shara, are you ready to talk about your dish? To tell the judges. Here, I'm going to hand you the microphone. You just give the little hit to the judges.
Okay. Hey, you guys, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me. We're from Austin, Texas. My mom joined me today. And again, this dish was inspired by my late husband. He loved wontons, he loved cream cheese, and he loved fish. So, thank you.
Let's let the contestants talk.
The fantastic wonton is actually stuffed with a cream cheese blended with serrano peppers and jalapeno peppers from the garden with a jalapeno jelly. So you're going to have a little heat. Then you're going to get the bok choy, which I have also sauteed. And then there's some Asian chopped salad. I added crushed cashews, mandarin oranges. That's going to be topped with your amazing cod. And then I made a homemade miso maple sauce. The very top is my favorite. It's a crispy bok choy green. So it's kind of like kale, but it's even better. Enjoy.
How did you get your bok choy so crispy?
I dusted it in corn flour, but don't use too much. And you have to change your oil a couple of times because you still are going to get that reserve corn flour come out. And I use peanut oil. For the bok choys, I use coconut oil.
It looks beautiful.
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Diane, we're going to have Diane present her dish. Oh, sorry, hang on. Sarah has a question. What?
The leaf here, is this shiso? What is?
Oh my gosh. The leaf is from here at the Vineyard.
Oh.
In Austin, I used a bamboo leaf from a sushi shop, but here I couldn't find that. And so Ava was very kind to say, go pick some leaves from the grapes. So these are actually
it's
here,
all
you guys.
one leaf.
Oh,
Beautiful. Thank you.
On, plated on a grape leaf. All right, Diane, tell us a little bit about your dish to the judges.
Okay. My wonton was inspired from Gott's Roadside, the Western bacon burger with point raised blue cheese. There is blue cheese, bacon, beef, grass-fed, of course. And then the sauce is a fig, jalapeno, and garlic with soy sauce. And the tester was my husband, so he's the one who decided this worked. So.
Diane, can you tell everyone where you got these leaves as far as the presentation goes? You told Joel and I, and we loved it. So.
Oh, the leaves came from my backyard lemon tree, Meyer lemon.
Meyer lemon tree. Go Meyer lemons.
In Auburn. There you go.
All right, judges, you good on that? All right, Jerry, bring it home for us. Tell the judges about your dish.
Well, thank you so much. I want to thank Gloria Ferrer for doing such a great job of putting this competition together. It's been a lot of fun. And my co-competitors, Diane and Sherry, fantastic, wonderful people. But the dish, right? Which is the most important thing here. So we have, basically it's a lobster, shrimp, and scallop sausage is what it is. And I just made this force meat here, stuffed it into a lamb casing. And then I poached it. Made a little sauce of green apples and brie because I believe that the green apple brie is a perfect combination for this particular wine. It's a great, and for me, the sauce is always the bridge to the food. And then a little butter toasted brioche roll that we made this morning. So, enjoy.
All right, thank you all. The judges now have to get to work. You guys have about 20 minutes to taste, to talk, to judge. Give them a little encouragement, guys. They have a rough job ahead. All right? A little encouragement from the audience. guys. All right. We have the results. Are you excited? All right, welcome back, Facebook Live. We are ready to announce the winners of the Glorious Bites Challenge. So I'd like to bring out our contestants. Come on out right here. And take a look. Yes, you look beautiful, all of you. All right, first of all, a big round of applause. They beat out 1,800 entries to be here. Just to be here is a huge accomplishment. So congratulations to all of you. You've done a great job and provided much happiness for people. All right, so drum roll, please. Who can do a drum roll? There we go. Drum roll, please. We're going to announce the fan favorite first, I think, just hang on, let me be like Ryan Seacrest. Okay, a drum roll, please. And we're going to announce the fan favorite with her triple B wontons, Diane. Diane Williams. Woo! In her first competition ever. Gets the fan favorite and a magnum of the Sonoma Brute. And you know what they say about a magnum? It's the perfect size for two when one's not drinking. All right. So, okay. Now, we'd like another drum roll, please. Another drum roll, please. And we're going to announce our third place with his lobster and brie dogs, Jerry. All right, so all winners here. And are you ready for the winner of the 2016 Gloria Ferrer Glorious Bites competition, a beautiful trophy and $5,000. Are you ready? It is with her miso maple glazed cod wonton. Share a little. Oh, beautiful. All right, Ava, bring on over the big check. Bring on over the big check. Woo! All right, $5,000 right there. That'll buy you a lot of bites. Lot of bites. Woo! Shara, all right, do you have anything to say, my dear? Don't you love this when they stick the mic in people's faces? What do you say? I'm going to Disneyland.
I'm wearing waterproof mascara. I'm very excited and very humbled, and the audience and everyone has been so sweet and come up to me and talked to me about my meal and told me how good it was, and my Longhorn fans. Each of you judges are amazing, and I really appreciate you guys having us. We couldn't have had a better time and asked for more, I don't know, the hospitality is amazing. Of course, the wine is just fantastic. Can I have a case?
That $5,000 will buy you a lot. All right, I'm just going to get a quick hit from the judges on your winning choice. Give us a little thought, Mr. Riddell.
Well, I just wanted to say that it was very, very close. We didn't really confirm. We did it by the numbers. And with over 1,600 entries, these were the top three, and they were so very, very close. I just loved the way the miso did marry so well with the champagne, with the Gloria Ferrer Brut, Sonoma Brut, sorry. And I thought that was a hitting point myself. Christopher?
I thought it was definitely the most complex dish there was. I mean, there were so many layers of flavors there. Every bite stood out. Different things jumped with this wine. I think that it was really a great pairing overall, and I was glad to see that it won.
Yeah, I think we all agree that this dish was really beautiful to look at. and it's beautiful to taste. It just had it had the bitter, salty, sweet, you went through the whole, you got it all. And yeah, it was great. Thank you.
So I will echo what Joel said, that it was very close. They all three were very delicious and paired beautifully with the Sonoma Brut. And coming into this, having tried all three, I still didn't know which was my favorite. So you all three did an exceptional job tonight. And Shara, yours was absolutely beautiful. Really bright layers of flavors, a lot going on, a lot of complexity, and it was delicious with the Sonoma Brut. So congratulations.
Shara! All right, Shara was going to take a victory lap, but instead of taking a victory lap, she's heading to the bar. Go ahead. Go right ahead. You get a big old drink, honey. All right. I would like to thank everybody for coming. You guys all, thank you so much for coming. I would like to thank the team at Gloria Ferrer for doing the Glorious Bites competition. It's an amazing experience, I think, for everybody involved. Have a good night. Cheers. And thank you, judges. Thank you, judges.